Hey everybody, welcome to Jeff and Kristen's Fireside Chat. I'm Jeff Althaus.
I'm Kristen Kelly.
Today we're talking about the bar exam and studying for the bar exam.
Really fun.
So we know the bar is coming up for attorneys here soon, aspiring attorneys. But we thought we would give some insight into common questions and the terrifying things that happen while studying for the bar exam. It's really not that scary.
Bar exam, 2 days long in Colorado. You started off with a 3-hour morning session covering 6 essay questions. I will start my piece on a thing I did studying for the bar that I should not have done. We had this website that predicted with supposedly high accuracy which 6 subjects would be tested on the multi-state essay exam. And I was told when I took it in May of 2018 that contracts would absolutely not be on the exam. I did this many contracts exam essay questions. I watched this many minutes of the contracts lecture. And then I don't know if it was question 3, but I turn the page and feel like I'm going to have my stomach drop through the floor and see very clearly a contracts question in front of me. But before I went into the law exam, Rudy Schmidt, who I studied for the bar with, and I had come up with a plan that no matter what, when we go in, if we get freaked out, we're not going to get freaked out. We're going to say it's fine, and we're going to make up the law and make it sound like the law. Because after 3 years...
Pause while our fireplace takes a brief ad.
We do not support or endorse whatever is behind us.
I might. Hang on.
Oh, it's Star Wars.
Yeah, I support that.
I'm cool with Star Wars. Where was I? What was I talking about?
I wasn't really listening.
That's great.
You had a contracts question.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we said if we came in there that we would just make it up and make it sound right. So I did. Made it sound really good, and I passed the bar. But I don't recommend that. Study all of the subjects because you don't know which will be on the test, and that was probably my first faux pas.
So the do not is don't skip subjects, and then the do is don't freak out.
Yeah, don't freak out. I know somebody who had to take the bar 2 times, and I think it's because on the first go around, got in there on the essay, got 1 point, which I think is the lowest you can get out of whatever, and the first 2, and I think she just freaked out and froze. She's smart, brilliant attorney. Also really important to know that how you do in the bar exam or law school is no reflection of what kind of lawyer you will be when you do pass. That said, probably easier to pass on the first time. The afternoon was the multi-state performance test, where you get 2 case files with set of facts and everything you need is within there, and then you have to write some legal document they ask. My biggest suggestion would be write the document they ask. If they ask you to write a judge's order or a motion to the court, write that. Don't just write some soliloquy about something that doesn't matter. What advice do you have on the performance test?
Yeah, do exactly what they ask you to do, even if you have no idea what that is. They ask you to write a will, start with giant letters at the top, will, and then just make something up. I think I actually had to write a will. I don't even remember. I took the bar exam in Minnesota and in Colorado. Where are we? Colorado?
Colorado.
Not California. One of them I had to write a will. There are people that came out and talked to me and they just made up like a contract and didn't even put the word will in it. And you don't do that. Just don't freak out. Do what they ask you to do.
Day 2, 200 multiple choice questions, 100 in the morning, 100 in the afternoon. Thoughts?
Your brain is going to melt during this day. I mean, it's hours and hours of just filling in bubbles. We had to take...
Did you take it by hand?
Yeah.
Also, don't do that. Take it on your computer.
I'm old. We didn't have that option.
True. It's true. When I took the bar, there were like 10 old people in the back taking it by hand. I don't know how much more work that was. I was not
old when
That's
I took the bar.
why I was like, oh, how did you write will so big? Okay. Well, how about some general advice about just studying for the bar?
Studying for the bar. Do it. It is not worth your time to stress out about it and then fail it. I 100% recommend taking the classes that they offer. I know some people study on their own. Didn't you do that? Yeah, I don't recommend that. It worked for her. Kaplan and Barbary and a few others have classes that they offer, and that was helpful for me because you actually have to show up to something, and it kind of makes you study throughout the whole process. So if you just do whatever they say to do every single day for a month or two, you'll pass and you won't be stressed at all, and it's great.
So I paid a lot of money for Kaplan, and in the beginning, I did everything, which I do recommend if you get a course. Do it all. But then remember back to the basics, what kind of student you are. So don't do everything. For me, I got nothing out of the lectures. Also, backing up a bit, I had a baby less than 2 weeks before bar prep started, maybe been like 8 days old. So he was like chilling on my lap the whole time while I'm studying for the bar. So I had a lot of other things I had to do, and I had to minimize how much studying I could do. And luckily, University of Denver had an amazing bar success program, really, really good. I did a whole lot of watching TV and hanging out with my baby and going out to eat and drinking and living my life. Wish I'd done even more of that looking back, and wish I hadn't paid for Kaplan. What I wish I had done is pulled off all of the old bar exams, which is how I actually studied. And I went through all the old essay questions. I grouped them by subject, and I did outline like answers. Like I just drew little bubbles. I was like, here's what the issue is, here's the rule, and just tiny notes. And I would do like, all right, I'm going to do contracts I didn't do contracts.
Yeah, I will say that my roommates back when I took the bar in dinosaur times, by the way, calling me the old one, you're the mom in this room, not a parent.
He could also not be a mom, like physically.
Are we taking another ad break? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy for sure. I'm a huge nerd.
How many hours did you study a day on average? And did you study weekends?
Too many, and probably. My roommates thought that I had died. I was downstairs in our cave of a basement that we had, and I just remember having the sweatpants life going on and a hoodie, and I just had my hood up the whole time staring at a computer screen for days on end. Studying for the bar for me sucked, but I passed both times and I wasn't stressed during the test, which was nice. The second time when it was Colorado's bar, I was more prepared, I guess. I'd already taken a bar and knew I could pass, so I worked full-time and studied for the bar. But it was work full-time, get off work, study till I went to bed, repeat for a month or however long it is.
I would say really good advice for when you're studying for essays and you're doing practice essays, have your outline materials with you that have the verbatim rule of law. Otherwise, if you try to do it from memory and you write down the wrong rule of law, or you just made something up that you thought was right and it's wrong, that is going to stick in your mind what you write first. And then when you're studying later and it comes up on the bar, you're going to write down the wrong thing because your brain is like, oh, this is what it was that one time I wrote it, even though you were wrong. So use your outlines, take a lot of multiple choice practice questions from the beginning. When I was studying, Barbary was being really weird. I, again, used Kaplan, so it was an issue for me, but they were not releasing multiple choice questions for a long time. And that's stupid. You should, from the beginning, be doing multiple choice. The lectures, if you do well with lectures, do the lectures and the notes. A lot of the bar is your mental attitude, I think. Like, be positive and excited and like, this doesn't suck so bad, because everybody tells you how bad it sucks and how many people fail. But when I walked in the bar, I felt confident. There were people littered on the ground, like studying for the bar right before the bar. That cannot have been good for them. Or in between, like on lunch break. I mean, I walked in, I was like, this is going to be great. I walked out of the bar thinking, I know I passed. And then went and boarded a red-eye flight to Orlando, Florida for a 2-week vacation. And did not think about the bar again, which I think is probably important. Put it out of your miserable mind.
So before we wrap up and summarize everything we said, did you have any crazy things happen actually during the bar exam test?
Yes. So during our year, part of the ceiling fell in. We were in Denver. We were in the Denver market, whatever, the real big, I don't know, it's this huge room. There was like 1,000 people taking the bar. And all of a sudden, like, you hear this crash and this huge chunk of the ceiling just fell in. And then there was like 45 minutes where we're just stopped taking the bar. In the first 20 minutes, the people administering the bar, like complete idiots, don't tell people to close their laptops. They tell people pencils down, hands off your laptop, but it's there. And I remember thinking, too bad I hadn't read farther into this next case file, because I could at least be sitting there thinking about what I'm doing. People are sitting there like reading and scrolling through stuff like a bunch of cheater pants. So what the bar did is for anybody who sat that bar, they reduced the amount of points you had to pass by 1.
Cheater pants? Really? Is that like corn people?
Did you have anything crazy happen during the bar?
Yeah, somebody just stood up sobbing and sprinted out of the room.
Oh, that's not funny, but that...
Like within the first 10 minutes. Like it was just, I don't understand.
So don't get that stressed out. It's not that bad.
Yeah. It's
I
just
think
a
that's the
test.
big thing is everyone tells you how bad it is. The whole time. People are like, did you watch this YouTube video on how terrible it is? I'm like, no, I didn't watch that.
Yeah,
Well, we were trying to sleep at night.
All right, so let's summarize our lists. Don't freak out.
Don't skip subjects to study.
Don't talk to other people about the bar exam. Just don't do it. Especially after you finish, go consume alcohol is my tip of the day.
Do not study in ways that don't help you personally.
So what about the do column?
Do lots of practice exams for the essays and the multiple choice. Do practice.
Yeah, and I would say just do the course because then you don't have to think about how to study. You're just studying. What else are we saying do?
Do good time management. It's bad grammar, but
Do good time.
that's the problem if you do a course is they give you like 18 hours worth of stuff. So narrow it down to what actually helps you. There's going to be stuff that's extraneous and stupid and a waste of your time. I don't know. Do still live your life.
Yeah. Have fun. Don't freak out. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more Fireside Chats. We are soon going to be introducing Fireside Chats with interesting people talking about interesting things.
So thanks for watching. This is Althaus Law. I'm Jeff Althaus.
Kristen Kelly.
See you next time.